Hey guys, it's Alice. So today I know I'm a bit closer than I normally am. I was feeling very adulty today. I booked a dentist appointment, I booked a hairdressing appointment, I had a driving lesson, I bought a planner that's arriving tomorrow. I just felt like I was being very organised in my life, so I thought this would be a great time for me to film the video that I've been talking about filming for a while, which is all of my advice and things I wish I'd known about applying to uni and the whole process of UCAS. So before you go anywhere, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. It'll make me really happy. And if you haven't seen me before, hi, I'm Alice. So without further ado, let's just get on into the video. I've written down a couple of things about things I wish I'd known about the process of applying to uni, but I don't really have points for where this video is going to go, so I'm just going to speak and hope that it's helpful. I've got my mug again with my mango and strawberry tea, which is my second cup of today, and I'm just going to chat to you guys. So first thing about the process of applying to unis is finding what uni you want to go to. So for me, my school went to this UCAS convention. I mentioned this entire process briefly in my school Q&A and I'll link that down below, but this is going to be me going into more detail about it. So it was a fair where there was representatives from each university there, and they would give out their prospectuses and they would talk to you about the grade boundaries and pros about the school and all things like that. So that's where I got all of my prospectuses. I knew that I wanted to be in a city, so I got prospectuses from city university. If you don't have anything like that your school does, then you can go online to the university's website and order prospectuses there. They're free for you to receive, so you could order as many as you like to have a look over. So that's another way to kind of work out where you want to go. So then once you've figured out which universities you think you might be interested in, you should go and look at what open days are available. There are open days that happen at the beginning of summer that have been, so they normally happen at the beginning of June. Or there's open days that happen during September and October. So then from there, I'd say you go to the open days. Normally it's quite a lot of travelling. What we personally did was we'd travel down the night before and then we'd be there in the morning. Normally open days start about 9 o'clock. So we'd be there early in the morning so that we'd finish around lunchtime and then we could go home. I'm very grateful for my dad for driving me up there, but I know that some people also take trains up there, go without their parents, you could go with friends. There are other ways to get around that situation. And I really would recommend going to them because there were some universities that I thought I'd really enjoy and I went and I absolutely hated them. So I think the open days are a really big thing, and if you can't go to the open days, there are other ways you can do your research. So look on YouTube videos of the campuses talking about the courses. Websites such as Which University are really helpful, but again, the reason I think open days are the best because on websites such as Which University, there's no information on the University of Brighton at all, and obviously for me personally, I know that that's been my favourite one, but if I was just to go off of the information I receive from websites such as those, I wouldn't like it, if that makes sense. So I think you do have to decide for yourself which one you really want to go to. So then about September time, October, when you start going back to school, this is when you're in, year 13, you then start writing your personal statements, and I know these are really difficult. I really struggle with mine, but the way that I would recommend doing it is just write something down. Even if you've got no idea what to write, how you write about qualities about yourself. Like, I'm a really punctual person, I'm well organised, I work well in a team. Write it down. My first draft I think was about 5 lines, and then when I came back to it at the end of summer, I looked at it and was like, that's absolutely shocking, and just started doing it again. Your tutors will help you. I didn't know this when I was younger, but this might be different for other schools, but my school, in all of our tutorial sessions when we went back to school in year 13, they were for us to do our personal statements in, so I didn't actually have to do it at home. I would do it at school and I'd print it off, take it to my tutor, he'd look over it. Big yourself up so much. The best way to do it is to integrate different qualities or different things you've done in your life. So I started to do a Duke of Edinburgh award, but I never finished it, so I never got the award, but I still did 6 months of part-time volunteering, so I could write about that and say how that shows, that I'm helpful, and always make sure to link it back to the course that you're trying to study. I did work experience in a fashion company in the lingerie section, and I'm taking a psychology course. So I wrote about that, saying it was really interesting for me because I want to learn psychology to experience different types of work and help me figure out that wasn't quite what I wanted to do, but also experience how other people work and brain things. So whatever you do, just try and link it back. Basically, you're trying to convince them that you really want to go to that university and that they should let you in. Yeah, so with personal statements, with all of this, Google it, watch videos on YouTube, talk to your teachers, talk to your friends, get help from your parents. With the personal statement, there's so much help and support on the UCAS website. Live off of that website. There isn't a right way to write it, you know. As long as you mention positive qualities about yourself and link them to things that prove that, whether you've, you know, done sport, and you do need to get those done as quickly as you can, because you need to hand them into your teachers so that your teachers can write your internal references. And for my school, I'm not sure if it's for every single school, but I'm pretty sure it will be. Each of my teachers for each of my subjects wrote a little bit about me and about, you know, how well I was doing in class and why they thought the university should accept me. And then my form tutor would write a little bit at the top, which was kind of him rewording my personal statement to make it sound like I'm telling the truth. And so your teachers actually have to do references as well. So you can't just leave it really, really late, because they'll miss their deadline too, and then that will affect your application. We had like an internal deadline to have our personal statement done and have our UCAS forms all filled out by, I think, November. But in reality, you don't actually have to do it until January, but it is best to get it done straight away, because then you're more likely to get the offers coming through earlier and you don't have to worry about it or stress about it. So I think I put mine in about October time maybe. And you've got to make sure when you're filling out the form where you talk about your grades, you have to write what GCSEs you got and what ASs you got. You have to put in your A levels and say that they're pending, so you have to remember, that's one of the things you have to remember to put that in as well. And so once you've sent that off, you will start to receive your offers back. You can pick 5 options. You have 5 choices. You could pick 5 courses at the same university, you could pick 5 completely different courses, and the thing is, the university can't see where else you've applied, so they can't see if somewhere else has offered you an unconditional or anything like that. And then you start to get your offers back, and if you're really lucky, you might get a lowered grade boundary. You know, if you don't quite get the grades that you think you might need, like, apply for the university anyway. So I think that if you have somewhere that you do really want but you don't think you're clever enough for it, go and have a look, apply for it anyway. On the day when you get your offers, some universities, even if you didn't get the grades, they might still let you in because they want you as a student. So then you get the offers back, and if it says a conditional offer, that will then tell you what grades you need to get into that course. And if you get your offer back and it says unconditional, that means that whatever grades you get, you can go to that university. So my sister got an unconditional offer, which means that she could have failed all of her A levels and she would have still had a place at that university. For some universities actually as well, I didn't know this was a thing, you have to do interviews. So this is normally for more art-based courses or really kind of elite universities. You do have to be aware of interviews and going to them. Your school will be really lenient with letting you off and giving you time off school to do that, because obviously they understand it's important. I didn't have to go to an interview, but my sister did. It varies for every person, for every course, every university, whatever. So when you've got all of your offers back, then you can make a choice as to which university you want to go to. I only had until the beginning of May to pick my university. You've got a decent amount of time. You've got 4 to 6 months to choose what you want to do and weigh up all the options. I struggled with that because I didn't know where I wanted to go, you know. Another thing is student finance. So I think student finance opens up from about May to June, and for that you need your parents with you to help, because they need to make accounts for it unless you have an older sibling who's already done it. You need your passport, and I think you need things like your national security number or something like that. It doesn't take too long. I did it a couple of days after it opened up. It's worth just getting it done. So you have to talk about your parents' occupations, your parents have to send off information about their tax forms, and then a couple of weeks later you'll get given information back on how much tuition loan you're going to get, which is the money that goes directly to your university to pay for your education. You don't see any of that. And how much money you get for your maintenance loan, and this is the money that you have to live off of. The highest amount you can get, I think, if you're studying away from home outside of London, is 8,200. If you're in London, it's a little bit more expensive because London is a more expensive place to live. The maintenance loan and the tuition loan you have to pay back when you finish your university degree, but the rate of paying it back is really small. So you pay back 9% of anything you earn over £21,000. If you earn £21,100, you pay back 9% of £100. So I think for me personally that's worth it for me to get my education and to get my degree, but then, you know, it's up to you what you want to do. So if your parents' income is really high, you get less because it's expected that they'll help pay for some of it, and if your parents' income is low, you'll get more. The way some people go about it is people's parents pay for their accommodation and then they pay for the rest with their maintenance loan, or you pay for your accommodation with your maintenance loan, live off the rest. You might have to get a job, you know, your parents could send you like food vouchers, or your parents can do your weekly shop for you, get that delivered to you, whatever. People figure it out in different ways, and then when you accept your offers, you accept one as your firm choice and one as your insurance choice. So what this means is your firm choice is the one that you're going to go to. If you get the grades, that's the one you go to. If you do amazingly well in your A-levels and you beat the grades you want, you can apply to look at universities after A level results day that have higher grade boundaries. There's clearing as well. If you know you didn't quite get the place you wanted, you can apply for the same place that you didn't get through clearing as well, to see if they have any open spaces. If you don't sort out your UCAS on time, there is, I think it's called UCAS Extra, and that it means that you can apply late for university. So honestly, basically the main thing is make sure you talk to your tutors and, you know, any of the career advisors or support people at your school, because if, you know, to try and figure out what you want to do, they really will help you and they will do their best to try and find what could be best for you. Honestly, I know that the process of applying to university is really stressful, but it is figuring out where you want to go for the next 3 or more years of your life. And again, I'm just going to disclaim, this is just my personal experiences and views and opinions on things. This might be different for other people, and also you don't have to go to university. I'm only making this video for people that want to go to university and want just a little bit of help understanding how the process of applying works. University is not essential, it's not for everyone, you don't have to go, don't feel like you have to go at all, it's completely a choice. Everyone can do their own thing. But yeah, so once you've all applied, UCAS Track is your best friend, and on the morning of the A-level results day, UCAS Track will open up at around 8 o'clock in the morning, and you can look to see whether you've got into your university or not. And sometimes, as was in my case, I also filmed a video about my A-level results if you guys want to look at that as well. I'll link that down below and I'll put it on the screen as well. I got an email I think at 7:30 in the morning, so sometimes you'll find out before. And honestly, if you don't get into the university you want, it isn't the end of the world. There is other options, and university isn't the be all and end all, you know, but I just thought this might help some people who are trying to apply and a bit confused about what to do. So that is all for today. I know this is a little bit higgledy-piggledy and I think my tea's gone cold. Oh no, it hasn't. I just wanted to film this in case it would help anyone who's about to apply to university. But yeah, I think enjoy the process of it, because, you know, it's exciting looking at different places that you could live. We're moving out of home for the first time. You can have the chance to live in a village or a city or by the seaside or smack bang in the middle of the country. You can live in London, you can do whatever you want. I hope this is helpful. If I've forgotten anything, please let me know. That's all for today. I've had an amazing day. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will hopefully see you next Monday with another video. Bye.